Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something big, a roadmap for how the entire car industry is going to completely reinvent itself over the next 20 years. And the answer? Well, it's all about this massive shift that's basically turning the whole industry on its head. We're moving away from just manufacturing and into a whole new era of intelligent ecosystems. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so first, we've got to understand the core problem, right? The old way of doing things, building and selling cars, it's just broken. It's stuck in this cycle of crazy high costs and being way too slow to give customers what they actually want. So check this out. The old way was a push model. Car makers would guess what you might want, build a ton of cars based on those forecasts, and then push them onto dealership lots. That meant huge costs and a lot of waste. The future, though, is a pull model. They're calling it customer to manufacturer, or C2M. This is a game changer. It means your order, your specific order, is what actually kicks off the production line. We're talking about a massive shift from making cars for everyone to making a car just for you. So, okay, the old model's broken. What's the fix? Well, it all comes down to a concept called digital and intelligent management. And look, this is way more than just another corporate buzzword. Think of it as the central nervous system for the car company of the future. It's all about using data and AI to completely transform, well, everything. How cars are designed, how they're built, how they're sold, and at the end of the day, how the company actually creates value. When you put this engine in place, it gives a company four absolutely critical advantages. First, you get data integrated across the entire chain, from R&D all the way to service. Second, you get these new platforms that just accelerate innovation. Third, decision-making gets a massive upgrade thanks to AI. And fourth, you build a system that's resilient, one that can actually anticipate risks before they happen. The key takeaway here, this isn't a small tweak. It touches every single part of the business. All right, so this whole transformation, it rests on three main strategic pillars. Let's dig into what they are. Pillar number one is all about synergy, from R&D all the way to service. Basically, it means breaking down all those internal walls, those silos between departments. Imagine this. The feedback from your car's service appointment doesn't just go into a file, it goes directly back to the design team and actually influences the next model. It creates this perfect closed-loop system of constant improvement. Pillar two is where we get to data. You've heard the saying, data is the new oil, right? Well, that's exactly it. But just like oil, raw data isn't that useful. You need the pipelines, the refineries. So this pillar is all about building that critical infrastructure, a super secure and trusted system that lets information flow seamlessly, not just inside the car company, but across its entire value chain of partners. And pillar number three, honestly, this is the really revolutionary one. It's about empowering the whole system with data plus AI. This isn't just about making smarter decisions. No, it fundamentally changes what a car company is. We're talking about a huge shift from simply selling you a product, a car, to providing you with ongoing subscription-based services. Okay, so we've covered the what and the why. Now let's get to the how. And there is a very clear phased roadmap for how this all gets done over the next 15 years or so. So how do you measure progress on a journey this big? With something called the Intelligent Manufacturing Maturity Model, or IMM. Just think of it like a ladder with 4 rungs. On the first rung, IMM1, a company is just dipping its toes in, digitizing single departments. On rung 2, they start networking those departments, breaking down the silos. By IMM3, data is actually driving the big decisions. And the top rung, IMM4, that's the ultimate goal. The company becomes a self-evolving node in a huge intelligent city ecosystem. And this journey has some really clear milestones. The first big one is 2030. The goal is to get the foundation right, achieving about a 30% data sharing rate across the whole supply chain. Then by 2035, things get serious. That data sharing number needs to hit 70%, and a full 50% of decisions have to be data-driven. And then by 2040, it's the home stretch. Almost 100% data sharing, and the company fully transforms into an intelligent mobility operator. And the vision for 2040 is, well, it's really ambitious. The projection is that a staggering 90% of the entire industry will be operating at those top 2 levels of maturity. And get this, a full 50%, half of all car makers, are expected to reach that top-tier IMM4 level, becoming these fully intelligent, self-evolving ecosystems. So after all that,
What's the final destination? Where is this all headed? It's nothing short of a complete redefinition of what a car company even is and what it actually sells you.
First up, the focus completely flips from the product to you, the user. In the past, a car company's job was pretty much done the moment you drove off the lot. But in the future, the car itself is almost secondary. It becomes the vessel, the platform for delivering personalized, ongoing services that you subscribe to. Second, that old, rigid, linear supply chain, it just dissolves. It gets replaced by this flexible, dynamic, networked ecosystem. This means a car company of the future will be working just as closely with tech giants, energy companies, and even urban planners as they do with their traditional suppliers. And finally, the way decisions get made is completely transformed. We go from managers relying on their personal experience, their gut feel, to a system where decisions are driven by hard, real-time data. So the manager's job isn't to make the call anymore. Instead, their job is to design the system and set the rules for the AI that makes the call. And here it is, the ultimate payoff. You end up with a company so deeply integrated with data that the vast, vast majority of its day-to-day decisions, we're talking over 80%, are just generated automatically by AI systems, all based on real-time data from maximum efficiency. Just let that sink in for a moment. So at the end of the day, this roadmap isn't just about building smarter, better cars. It's about forging a completely new relationship between us, how we move around, and even the very idea of ownership. It leaves us with a really big question, doesn't it? When your car is a service, what do you truly own anymore? That's the future we're all driving towards.